That Talking Podcast. I'm JJ Starr.
And I'm Downtown Andy.
Welcome, welcome. We're here to talk and bring a little bit of civil discourse to an otherwise discordant world. How you doing?
All right, how are you?
I'm okay. It's been like Wild Kingdom today.
It sure has.
Every time I look outside, there's some new animal, including a massive fucking turkey that just wandered over and started hanging out at the bird feeder today.
Quite the wild variety today.
We've had 2 rabbits, a mole, a turkey, a wide variety of wild birds.
Mm-hmm. The
Squirrels, chipmunks. This morning we had the possum come by.
Did we?
Yes, we did.
Oh, you didn't tell me about that.
No, we did. We had the possum come by for a little while. Yeah. It's like fucking
no raccoons yet. No deer.
There have been raccoons.
Not today.
No, not today.
Yeah.
But
the skunk came by a couple nights ago.
I did have a dream a couple nights ago that a tiger was out there.
And a lion.
A few lions actually, and a giant hedgehog.
What about the bear?
There was a bear also, small bear.
Oh my.
Oh my. God, yeah, but it's been good. We're closing in on the end of my vacation.
Recovery, yeah. Well, this is the beginning.
Vacation. It's
at the time of recording, this is my vacation starts now, and I will be spending the next week and a half at the Hot Fudge Car Wash.
But you know what? It's really nice to have this time together.
Yeah, because we don't get vacations.
We really
together.
don't. We don't.
We when we do plan vacations, they're so far out in advance, and then we wait and just like suffer through everything until it gets there.
Yeah.
And then once it's over, it's like, oh my God, it's over now.
But we got thanks to the bilateral salpingo oophorectomy I just had. I'm getting good at it.
How's it healing up?
It's healing up. I have bruises. And I'm glued up, and it's uncomfortable, but I can move.
And to add insult to injury, you just got the other half of your new tattoo, which now you're.
It's so weird by comparison.
Yeah,
it's only it's 3 weeks difference.
You are such a glutton for pain.
I am, obviously. I've had this pain in my titty for quite some time now.
But you know what you're not a glutton for?
What?
The rules.
No, I am a glutton for the rules. I get to. It's delicious.
That didn't come out as planned. Never mind.
The 3 rules for the sake of civility. 3 simple rules.
Let's see if you can get it right this week.
No judgment, nothing personal, and don't be a dick.
You got them, all 3 of them, just like these 1, 2, 3 right here.
That's it. 1, 2, 3. Are you playing with your cards while we're doing a podcast?
As I told you while we were setting up, this is my security blanket, my security deck. I'm shuffling. Just keeps me,
Yeah, keeps you only about 80% in the conversation.
No, I'm absolutely in the conversation. This is like my nervous tick, kind of like just the shuffling helps me to.
I get function. It. I told you when I'm on like telehealth calls and stuff, even with my shrink, I'm playing with Play-Doh at my desk. I have a variety of glitter Play-Dohs that you got me for like our first Christmas or something, and right. I play with them whenever I'm on a telehealth.
I'll be honest, I don't have a nervous tick or twitch or need to fidget or anything like that. I've never been a fidget spinner guy. I've played with fidget spinners, but I just really wanted to have cards nearby.
Fair.
Because of tonight's topic.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
you want to play a game?
Hello, Dr. Gordon. I want to play a game.
I want to play a game. What do you want to talk about?
The person I almost murdered last night. Jesus Christ.
Figuratively.
Let's start on a positive note, and that's my vacation has just started.
Woo!
Your sick leave has just been extended to encompass most of that. So we are going to spend the next 5 days together.
Yes.
And that's going to be wonderful.
Still not going to be able to do a whole lot, but at least we'll have time together.
Fine. I don't so for those who don't know, every so often on a Friday night, because you're usually working late, I invite friends and coworkers over to hang out, play cards, eat food, drink beer, do whatever. Just
leave things in my fridge for several weeks.
It's just, Blue Moon.
Yeah.
And Rhodey was surprised I didn't drink. I didn't want to drink his beer,
which is very polite of you.
Yeah, it's his beer, and I don't like Blue Moon.
So you had one of your little parties.
Well,
if we were in high school, that would have been a LAN party.
I didn't know anybody who did that.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
Oh, everybody in my little clique had LAN parties. I never went because I'm a different kind of nerd. I like books.
so to start yesterday off, I almost canceled. So I had made this plan a week in advance because I wanted the guys to come over last Friday, but most of them couldn't make it. And I'm like, well, how about next Friday? I don't exactly remember why I wanted to plan it a week, but anyway, I started sending out texts, and I'm just like, hey, what are you doing next Friday?
Yeah.
So and so's in already. Like, do you want to come hang out? I decided to invite some new people. One of Henry's classmates invited him to a birthday party, and they had, food and entertainment for the parents. So, and come to find out the dad and I had a lot in common. So I'm like, come hang out one night. And, he got caught up at work. So, but, the usual suspects were supposed to show up last night.
Yeah.
And
I'm trying to move my cane somewhere so that the dog will get into her position, but we're good.
But almost canceled because my dad wound up back in the ER for a condition I will not currently disclose.
No.
It's a little awkward.
Because we still can't figure it out.
But at the time, I wasn't sure if I was going to have to, after work, go and grab him an overnight bag or go pick him up from the ER, depending on whether or not they admitted him. It's a regular occurrence. Everyone
It certainly is.
Don't worry about my old man. He's a frequent flyer at the hospital.
Yeah.
So I just wish I could get him to come to this one. It'd be a lot easier for all of us.
Yeah.
So the first person to arrive last night was an old friend of mine I've known for 25 years. And, we've been through it all.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like we've mentioned him many times on this podcast.
Yeah.
Never by name, never, for any specific reason or anything. Just referenced him.
Things that he said, things that he's insinuated.
A little bit of attitude.
This is going to be like that, was it the Shunning episode? Is that what it was called?
Yeah,
the Shunning?
a little bit, yeah. Yeah.
Because this person did something reprehensible.
Yeah. I was there. I saw it.
So, I have taken this person, as you know, with the biggest grain of salt.
All the grains of salt.
For the majority of our adult years together.
Yeah.
Not as much when we were kids, because, I hate using this as a crutch, but he grew up with Tourette's. It's not as bad as it used to be. I think he takes medication or has taken medication. He's got a few other medical things going on, but that has nothing to do with his personality.
It certainly shouldn't. I've got a lot of medical issues. And I'm not a dick.
The short of it is we sat down after just chit-chatting with the three of us for a minute, played game one, okay? I won. Great. Off to a good start, okay? We are into game two, and as he and I usually tend to do, I don't want to say argue, but we debate at least over card interactions, card rulings, what goes here and there.
Semantics.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Even though everything is supposed to be pretty cut and dry.
It should be, but, the certain wordings of certain rules.
Yeah, it's
and everything.
Confusing.
It can be
convoluted.
It can be misread or read in different ways and everything. And I was sitting on the sofa about 15 feet away while all this was
You've
happening.
also been a fly on the wall for this at many other occasions. And he starts getting
I like the way you're really trying to be diplomatic about this. I think it's precious.
That's because internally I want to shout from the rooftops what a fucking asshole he is. But he was not pleased with, my missing of certain things or misunderstandings, and I was trying to state my position, and I'll admit there were things that I missed, okay? And I don't remember exactly what he said the first time, but he did insult me when I misread something, and I didn't like the way he said it. So I said, and say that again, and we're not going to play anymore.
I was right there. I heard it. He says, say that again, and I'm going to kick you out of this house.
So a couple minutes goes by, and happens again. An interaction gets, jumbled or misread or confused. And he called me a fucking idiot. This is a guy I've been friends with for 25 years in my own home in front of my wife. Yeah. Thank God the kids weren't here because I would have fucking decked them. Called me a fucking idiot. I said, that's it, get out.
Yeah.
Get out. Just like that. I'm like, get out.
He said, you know what? Get the fuck out of my house.
I'm like, I didn't raise my voice.
Nope.
I didn't call him any names. I didn't, insult him in any way. I'm like, I won't be talked to like that in my own home. Mm-hmm. Especially after you're a guest in my home. And
half a dozen times, this moron just goes, are you serious? Mm-hmm. You're serious.
Yeah.
For real?
And when I didn't
Are you kidding? Are you serious? And while he's doing it, I'm watching the whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm dead-eyeing the whole fucking thing, and all I'm noticing is him doing this. And I bit my tongue. As I have done on several occasions, but I really bit my tongue this time because I wanted very badly to say, you shaking your head for something? You got something you want to say, maybe? Because he's acting the way he's packing up his shit, and I'm sorry for getting a little heated and everything, but I'm really at it at this point.
I can't wait to go back and watch this episode.
Because quite literally, I'm watching this fuckface do this like he's just like, I can't believe this guy's acting this way. I'm like, I'm sorry. You have prepared me for his foibles since day one.
I mean, it's probably a combination of that and the fact that he's got an hour drive ahead of him. I'm like, well, I'm sorry that
you rat's ass.
Gave me a reason to throw you out of my home, but you shouldn't have broken our podcast rules.
You're talking about a person who, again, when it reminded me, when it clicked this morning when we were talking about it, because you were really upset last night.
I'm still very upset.
You were really upset, not just angry that went down, but upset. Like in your guts. I could see it in you. And we're talking this morning about it and everything. And then it clicks that all of a sudden I remember my first interaction with this person was on the phone.
Yeah.
When you and I were first dating, this was in,
I can't wait for this.
Like the early winter, probably like Thanksgiving-ish.
I think it was later. Well,
no, it might have been around
the phone call. Yeah,
Thanksgiving.
Because the first meeting
was probably after New Year's or something. But you're talking about the first interaction I ever had this with the person. He knew that you were dating me
because he was at my birthday at TK's.
Yes.
Yeah. So this would have been January.
This phone call.
The phone call
happened probably like around November or something.
All right, the listeners don't need to know this.
Anyway, but I'm saying it. I'm putting it out there because he knew that you and I were dating. He didn't know anything about me other than what you had told him, which I don't know what that was and everything. But this person is on speakerphone, knowing that I'm in the room, hearing me speak, and then tells you how bad an idea it is to have unprotected sex with me. Because, and I quote, you don't know what you might catch. I'm sorry. Like, that was it for me. You had prepared me for this. Like, he's got some issues. He's got health issues.
He's got no filter.
He's got no filter, this, that, and the other thing. And I'm like, okay, but he's one of your best friends, one of your oldest friends. Of course, I'm gonna, be completely open-minded and everything. And that shut it. I'm just like, I'm sorry. Did your friend just say to you in front of the woman you plan to spend the rest of your life with that she might give you crabs? Like, what the actual fuck? How socially stupid do you have to be to think that it is appropriate to even suggest something like that?
Coming from a guy who's probably never been with a woman in his entire life.
I don't give a fuck.
I don't. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's the pot calling the kettle black because, I still to this day don't believe that he ever lost his virginity. Like he was telling me about this girlfriend that he had around the time of COVID, and then I was supposed to meet her on his birthday, and then miraculously she didn't show up because her sister was pregnant, and then a week later they were broken up or whatever. And I'm just like, you are so full of shit. You fucking just got one of your coworkers to take a picture with you.
Well, this was also, the same person who just last night was talking about a date that he went on, last week or something like that? And you asked him, you said, so are you going to see her again? And his reaction was, no, I will not be seeing this person again. That's the exact way that he put it. And all my brain said was, what did you do?
Oh, he's also had a critique for every single person I've ever dated. Yeah. You know, like he's gone on record saying like, I wouldn't touch half of the girls you've ever been with. I'm like, no, half of the girls I've been with would never touch you because.
Well, I told you
that could list all the reasons.
Like, I get it. Like, you know, old friend feels a certain sense of leeway, I want to say, that maybe like he feels a little bit more of a degree of closeness to like our relationship, maybe. But one of the last times that he was here, I told you, he made a very concerted effort of touching me a lot. To the point where I was like, okay, I really don't like this.
Yeah, he's always seen himself as like a third wheel like, in every relationship I've ever been in.
Well, I'm monogamous. I don't need a third wheel.
Yeah.
And I got really uncomfortable. And I'm just like, he's just, oh God, he's so arrogant and so entitled.
Come on. Come on. I just want to wring his stupid
neck sometimes. And it's just like, and last night, that was it for me.
We're gonna get a text on Wednesday morning and be like, you better stop talking about me, otherwise I'm gonna start talking about you.
Go ahead and talk about me to who, your mother?
Yeah. Oh God. Like it hurts me because again, I've known this person such a long time and we're almost 40 and we're arguing about a fucking card game. Like,
not even arguing about it, but like you're talking about like, you know, he called you a fucking idiot. I'm like, what? That's not even trash talk. That's just mean.
Yeah.
Like, that's literally just mean.
This is also a guy who and I've talked about this in episodes past. I remember he's the one I always talk about that I remember the day he started gaslighting me on politics. Like he called me up one day. I don't remember what election it was. Probably 2012. And he's like, who are you voting for? I gave my answer, and he immediately told me how stupid and wrong I was, and how my politics were wrong. And every election cycle since, that's what it's been. I'm wrong. I don't know what I'm talking about. I am stupid for thinking what I think and believing what I believe. And the funny thing is that, as I've told you and said on this podcast, I made a concerted effort to educate myself over the last like 8 years or so, to really be up on what's going on all sides and know who everyone is and what they stand for and all this stuff. And I would periodically challenge him on certain things and be like, do you know about this? Do you know this is going on? He'd have no clue. I would ask him why you support who you support or why you believe what you believe. He'd have no answer. He'd have no justification. He would just sit there and tell me how wrong I was. And he had no justifiable reason. No, intelligent reason as to why he was voting any particular way. And I'm like, that's just blind ignorance. That is absolute blind ignorance. And that bleeds into so many other areas of his life. It's literally just blind following. It's just, go along to get along or just following the crowd because he thinks that's what will gain him acceptance. And he's done that most of his life. I'll never forget, we were 11 years old. And his mother asked my mother if she could take me to go clothes shopping with them, to buy him clothes.
You told me this.
And I'll never forget this because we were in a store and I saw a Master Puppets t-shirt that I really wanted. I was just getting into Metallica at the time and I'm like, I would love that shirt. But my mother wasn't there to buy it for me. Yeah. And I'm not about to ask his mother to buy it for me.
Naturally.
It's just not something you do. It's impolite. At least I was raised to believe it's impolite. And he knew I wanted it and he immediately asked his mother to get it for him. And he's laughed about it ever since. Brings it up all the fucking time. Now, in speaking of being impolite, this man, for the entirety of the time that I have lived here on my own, like in my own home, okay, now our home, has taken it upon himself to walk through the door and immediately go to the fridge and the cabinets.
Yeah.
As if he lives here. Like, I'm your guest. What do you have for me? I'm like, you could ask. You could ask me to get you a drink. You could say, you mind if I had something to snack on or whatever?
Or do you have anything? See, it's even less impolite, more polite, if you will, to ask your host to essentially wait on you.
Remember the time that I fried up a bunch of chicken cutlets when he was here?
Yes.
Like, completely unprompted. I'm just like, my friend's over. My wife's hungry. I'm going to make some fried chicken. He's like, that was great. You know, hey, remember that time my mother made you brisket? I'm like, your mother just pulled a cold brisket out of the fridge. Shut the fuck up. Nothing against his mother. His mother's a wonderful woman.
She seems nice.
I've never had a bad interaction with her. Sweet as can be. I don't know where he gets it from.
Must be the internet.
You know, but there's the gaslighting on the politics. There's the gaslighting when it comes to the games that we play. There is the rudeness. There is the audacity and the, how conceited he is and arrogant. And on top of that, how many times have you been a fly on the wall when he's insisted that I live like he does? Like, I need to have a house like him. I need to have a job like him. I need to make the money that he's making. I need to move next door or across the street from him. Well, that's just
it. Is like even you mentioning the possibility of a job opening up an hour away, he insists that there is no way that you can continue to live here and work there. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I've told him. I've gone on tirades before. I've been like, listen, okay, you need to stop doing this. Like, you told me before I should ask politely, and I've done that, but he doesn't hear that. I've told him I'm perfectly fine with my salary. I'm perfectly fine with my life and my home and my wife and my possessions and my dog. How many times has he told me not to get another animal?
He can go fuck himself.
This guy had 2 golden retrievers when we were growing up. Fuck you.
He can literally go fuck himself.
I like having pets in the house.
Tell me there's not going to be an animal in this house.
Oh, they're a lot of money and they're a lot of work. Yeah, you live alone, okay?
It's like, and?
You live alone after having lived with your mother in a retirement community.
Like,
I have been on my own since 20 years old. Mm-hmm. And I have owned my own home for the last 11 years.
Yep.
This guy only just bought his house, like, 2 years ago after having rented from, like, relatives.
Oh, that's cute. Like, don't get me wrong, it's perfectly fine, but, like, come on.
I hate to make this a bitch sesh, but, like, this is all the stuff I either couldn't or didn't want to get out last night because I was so just...
I was feral last night because as soon as he was packed, even before his ass was out the door, I was over here standing next to you because you're my king. And I'm gonna have your back no matter the fuck what.
You went above and beyond last night.
And I was just like, you want to play with me?
And I can't believe you said that while he was here.
Yeah.
And I can't believe I said yes because I'm like, that was the sweetest thing you could have ever offered.
You planned a night of having fun playing games with your friends.
Yeah.
Well, the friend decided to be a dipshit.
I was completely sober too.
You hadn't started drinking yet.
Well, I only had 1 beer last night.
The rage must have made it.
Dilated
you.
I needed to stay clear-minded and focused because for weeks, because of all these arguments over something so petty, my main goal was to take him in a clean sweep. Mm-hmm. I have been wanting that for the longest time. Like, I'm going to study up everything I need to. I'm going to put him in his place. And I can't tell you I've told you already how many times I've just let him get away with shit. Like, okay, fine. You're going to be a whiny little bitch about this?
You did it last night, too. You're like, fine, we'll play by your rules.
And then I still beat him.
But that's just it, is that, these types of arguments aren't supposed to, like...
It's not supposed to exist.
The bickering is one thing. Bickering, teasing even, I will allow to a degree. But the gaslighting, the bullying and everything, it's like, I don't know where these fuck faces are coming from that they think that that's what you do with your friends.
I've racked my brain for years trying to figure out where it may come from. I've been, told how ridiculous it sounds that I could attribute it to, his ethnicity, his religious background or lack thereof, his, medical conditions, his fucking, this, that, and the other thing. And you pointed out to me last year or the year before, you're just like, a lot of the things that I am frustrated with, you're like, he doesn't care. He doesn't care. He doesn't give a shit.
Again, you know, he calls you repeatedly, and every time you have something to tell him, either something you're excited about or something that's going on in your life or something that's happening, he's like,
calls me every single day, and would send me memes and reels on Facebook, Instagram, all the socials repeatedly throughout the day. There were days where I would get 14 plus notifications from this guy. He's got no fucking life. And no pleasure, he gets no greater pleasure than from annoying the piss out of me. Now, I took him with a grain of salt because he's supposed to be my friend. Okay? He's like another one of those fucking people in my life whose parents went to my parents and was like, can Andrew be this kid's friend? Because nobody else has the tolerance for this fucking piece of shit.
Oh, God, I hope that nothing like that ever happened to me when I was growing up. I didn't know.
I didn't think about those things because I gravitated towards people I had commonalities with.
Yeah.
Like people I enjoy, same interest in music, games, TV, movies, hobbies, whatever. And he was one of them. I remember going to his house when we were in elementary school and playing cards all day and watching DBZ and fucking eating pizza and whatever. And it was great. We didn't argue about shit. And then we grew up and it became all about, what are you getting me for Hanukkah? What are you getting me for my birthday? And I don't need anything in return, but there were a couple of instances where if he got me something, it certainly did not equate in value.
Yeah.
Now that pissed me off. There were so many times we argued over whose turn it was to go visit the other.
Because that's really important.
And so I started holding him to it because I'm just like, well, I'm not going to keep driving all the way over there to see you and have it be uneven. Why am I burning my gas? Like, you have to come out here every once in a while. I took him out for his birthday this past March.
Mm-hmm.
Not only did he not get me, my birthday was a month before his. Not only did he not get me anything, didn't, plan anything for my birthday, didn't even wish me a happy birthday, I don't think. And you want me to fucking take you out? I spent $80 on that motherfucker. Not to mention the fact that I got him a gift on top of that. $80 for the meal. That was fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
When John died, just because I gave him John's laptop, John's gaming laptop or whatever, because I think he said he needed one at the time. And I'm like, here, go ahead, fucking whatever. And now he was recently asking me if I wanted it. I don't even want it back at this point. Fuck you. Go fuck yourself. Because he's thinking about getting a new one. I'm like, you're going to get rid of something I gave you for free? Years before that, I let him just browse through our basement and take all of our old game systems and cartridges. Always brings that, oh, that's fucking, wonderful. I have all your stuff now. Would constantly bring up these fucking cards that I traded him, back then that he's been trying to sell. I'm like, you're going to try and fucking sell something that I traded you? Well, if you want to buy them back.
Oh, God.
This kid,
understand it.
This kid, and here is the, I don't give a shit what he says. This is where the genesis of it all started. He invited me to his bar mitzvah. I was his only friend there, the only person his age, his only friend from school that attended.
Yeah.
Only one. Okay? Now, the equivalent for Catholics is confirmation.
Right.
So I went to his synagogue. I stayed for the ceremony. I put on the yarmulke. I stayed for the party.
Yeah.
He and I both did karaoke.
Cute.
I did Run DMC. He did Creed.
Ugh.
A Jew singing Creed. That's
cute.
Yeah.
Weird.
He really wanted to sing My Sacrifice. That's neither here nor there. He refused to come to my confirmation.
Because he won't set foot inside a church.
Would not set foot inside a church, and for years has said that I never invited him. I go,
why the fuck wouldn't you?
He was my only friend that I invited when I graduated college. Yeah. My entire family went out for lunch after the ceremony. It was also Mother's Day. But out of anybody I could have invited, it was the family and him. Not because of him thinking I didn't invite him to confirmation. It was because he's my friend and I want him there. But has maintained that I never invited him to it. And it wasn't me that came up with the idea, oh, he's not going to set foot inside a church. My parents told me that, which means that they must have heard from his parents that either they didn't want him going to a church, or they didn't want to be in a church, or thanks but no thanks.
I mean, I've had similar experiences where, like, you know, for me, I think right around the time I hit 30. Now, it certainly had started trickling into a slow deluge of incidents, but like I got to a point in my late 20s and early 30s where I realized that the amount of time that you have put into a relationship with someone is no longer no longer what keeps it stable. You know, it does not qualify the holding on to someone who makes you feel like trash.
That is one of the most valuable things you have ever taught me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because I had a really hard time distancing myself from people that you're just, you know, the types of relationships that you're just supposed to hold on to because they're your family, or you've known them for so long.
Yeah.
I've disowned my dad for lengths of time. I've disowned this guy before, you know, and it's usually the always the same thing that makes you become part of each other's lives again. Somebody died, something serious happened, somebody got sick, whatever it is. I went like 8 or 9 months in 2020 without talking to him because he called me up on Good Friday and tried to tell me what Good Friday was all about. He's like, no, it's not the day Jesus died or whatever, or fucking it's about this or something. I don't even remember, but it pissed me off enough to be like, go away.
This year?
No, this was 2020.
Oh.
This year he called me on Good Friday, and the first words out of his mouth were, is this the day Jesus died on the cross? Like he thinks he's being funny.
Well, that's just it, is that...
But he's really just trying to
poke
me.
He keeps making these jokes. And not like the way you and I make little jokes. Like,
ours are funny.
Ours are funny. And we understand that we're joking with each other. This guy insists that he must come off as witty. I'm not even going to say funny, but he must come off as witty. He keeps poking little jabs at me every time he talks to me about, you know, like, first of all, we're just going to bypass all of the jokes that he makes about seeing me naked and watching us fuck. Okay? Sorry, Mom and Dad. But, you know, like, in addition to all of that garbage, he keeps making his little comments here and there about how, oh, your wife doesn't like me and everything.
No, she
and
doesn't.
It's just like, no, she doesn't. Now shut up.
And now neither do I.
It's like, for the love of God, I'm trying so hard to be polite, you know, to you.
You said to me a while back, like, anytime we talk about how much I can't stand work and the people, like, I cater to quite a few wealthy people.
Sure.
Okay. Maybe more than a few. And it would always bother me how people would like order a bunch of packages and just let them sit in their boxes for weeks at a time. And it's like, you paid for this shit. You ordered it. You obviously wanted it. Why would you just let it sit around? And you said to me one time, like, having all this money is almost like license to be lazy or ignorant or whatever. And honestly, I was thinking about that earlier today. As I was driving through one of those affluent neighborhoods, I'm like, having not money and not success, but wealth, more so wealth, seems like license to be ignorant and lazy, and in some cases just downright retarded.
Yes. Well, we talk a lot also about the difference between, you know, wealth measured in terms of money and wealth measured in terms of success. The strive for wealth versus the strive for happiness and things like that. You know, people who think their money keeps them warm at night, well, God bless them, I guess. But stay the fuck out of me. You know, it's like you have nothing to do with what I concern my life with.
Has never passed up an opportunity to tell me that he makes $120,000 a year.
Couldn't give a shit.
Same.
Couldn't give a shit.
Because I know somebody else that we've complained about on this podcast who makes less than that, but more than me. And, you know, I'm perfectly happy with the things that my money buys me. My money supports us. It allows us to live very comfortably and enjoy nice things.
And each other.
And make us very, very happy and content. I don't want or need, because those guys, as much as I complain, they are They're more miserable than I will ever be.
Their relationships are,
or lack
thereof, are just grinding away at them. Their responsibilities are outright obligations at this point. Everything is a personal attack on their well-being and their mental health. And it's just so
and they're it's
so pitiful.
Both people who like to gaslight me because they like getting a rise out of me.
Like the fact that they do not recognize, and I know that it's a trait of narcissism to not necessarily recognize that you are in fact a narcissist, but it's like, I look at these people and I'm like, hello, textbook.
It's funny because I've been accused of being a narcissist so many times by so many people. And to me, all that says is I'm being accused by a narcissist. Because can I be full of myself? Sure.
That's not a narcissist. That's being narcissistic. But that's not being a narcissist. And it's certainly not the definition of gaslighting.
Like, in all the descriptions of things I've done for this guy that I just listed throughout this episode, like, I would hardly call that being a narcissist or even narcissistic. Like, I've gone out of my way to be kind to somebody who's hurt me.
I listened to this fool literally with his head down and just say to you yesterday, if I hurt your feelings, I would be sorry. What? For speaking as a woman who has been in many a toxic relationship with a man, I can tell you right now that that is the very definition of not a fucking apology. There's nothing about that is an apology. You barely even used the word sorry by its very definition. And that's just it, is that, I know, and we both know that if weeks from now, months from now, whatever may arise, eventually, without a doubt, the time will come when this person pokes his head out of his little hidey hole to see if he sees his shadow and comes at you like nothing ever happened. Or his first thing is if it's like more short term than long term, he's gonna come at you and say, so are we done? Are you over this yet?
Yeah, no, I've been through that with my dad.
And
before.
It's like, oh God.
But you know what? Maybe I'm better prepared for this sort of thing now, because I've gone to him and been like, Dad, no, we're not cool. Mm-hmm. You pissed me off. You made me really mad. You undermined me in front of my kids, or did whatever you did. Like, no, we're not cool.
I would, if this feller decides to come at you and say something along the lines of, are you over it yet? You should be like, no, you haven't apologized to my wife yet.
That's just
because they put that bullshit in my house, and I am intolerant of that kind of thing. And I kept my mouth shut because I love you.
And I love you.
I have been in situations where, it's like, when I got married the first time, I got married at 21 years old. Okay. And the majority of the people that I invited to that wedding were friends from high school, because we were just in high school 3 years ago. And a vast majority of these people did not show up because there was another party somewhere else. So they didn't come to my wedding. And quite literally, upon receiving those no RSVPs, I said, hey, look, here's a stack of people I don't ever have to talk to again. Look at that. They're all stacked right there. It's one of those things where it's like, and going through a Facebook purge kind of a thing. It's like, I don't have to keep in touch with these people just because, we knew each other for 20 years of our life. Fuck it. Who cares anymore?
This guy, when we got married, got us a $50 gift card to Best Buy.
Yes.
And then tried to tell us how to spend it.
Yep. Everything. Well, if you're going to get a dishwasher, you really should get a Samsung.
You gotta get
If Samsung. You're going to get a washing machine, you got to get a Samsung. Oh, you got a Dyson? Which one did you get? It's like, seriously? He probably gave us like the smallest wedding gift out of anyone who gave us a wedding gift.
Maybe it's not that he doesn't want to see his dad anymore. Maybe his dad doesn't want to see him.
Maybe his dad just won't give him his number. Like, he doesn't understand why you're not getting any of his, why he can't find your Instagram. It's like, because I blocked you months ago, asshat.
His dad liked something on, I'm not even friends with his dad on Facebook, but he liked something I posted or whatever, and I'm just like, I haven't talked to you or even seen you since I was like in middle school, dude.
I don't have...
maybe I should call his mother.
I don't have an appreciation for people like that. And I have developed more and more of an intolerance to it. But I'm an adult and I can bite my tongue when necessary. And I bit my tongue last night.
My mother, God rest her soul, and he used to love telling this story. He and I used to work at a Dunkin' together, and we came back to I don't know why we both went to my house. It was during a snowstorm. We'd just gotten out of work and snowing and fucking, it's like 11 o'clock at night. We walked through the door and my mother's like, you want some lasagna? You want me to make a rack of ribs? And Mom, I don't know what the hell he ate, but my mom cooked at 11 o'clock at night and he ate till his heart was content. Like, I have been more than generous to this guy in the tenure of our friendship. And I want nothing from him. I don't want anything of value. I don't want money. I don't want repayment. I wanted to sit down on a Friday night and play a game with my friend.
A friendly game.
A friendly game.
A friendly game. And nonetheless, a game. I mean, people can get competitive with each other. Friends, best of friends, can get competitive with each other. That doesn't mean that you call each other idiot.
I've been bitching and moaning for years about having to play on computers and simulators and shit because it's not the same as a one-on-one, face-to-face, sitting down and enjoying a nice, friendly game with a person you would,
right,
that you like to be around. And upon ejecting him from our home, we were then graced with the presence of a real friend.
Yeah.
Somebody whom I have known not as long, but almost as long. My bandmate, Rhodey, who I've been in 4 bands with now.
Wow.
4 bands over the course of 20 years. We've been in 4 bands together. And, he's not as big into the games that I like. But the game that he's more familiar with, I retaught myself and learned as much as I could. So we could, enjoy it together because, a lot of other guys, they know that same game too. And the whole reason I started doing what we do is because I don't want to pay $10 to go to a store and to lose to competitive people who, don't care about being friendly. Yeah. I want my friends to gather in our home, enjoy some food and some drinks and have some laughs and some good times in a comfortable setting with, surrounded by good people.
And he ruined it.
He didn't ruin it. No, I mean, he made it difficult to get through to the end of the night, but I've always genuinely valued Rhodey's friendship.
Well, he's a good guy.
He's always been a good guy. In the 20 years we've known each other, he has never personally attacked me. Never. He has never. We went through a couple hiccups here and there, but I mean, at least in our adult years, has never done anything to me out of malice that I know of.
My best friend of, at that point, 15 years, used to use me, I told you about this, used to use me as an alibi whenever she wanted to cheat on her boyfriend. And then stayed at my house when she finally broke up with him. Then took her time fucking the majority of my friends. And then married the guy that she was cheating on without telling me. Literally didn't tell me, like, oh, I went back to him. Oh, we fixed things. Oh, I'm gonna marry him anyway. And I'm like, first of all, no judgment, but come on. And I quite literally, just at that point, like my mother used to ask me, like, you still talk to her? And I'm just like, nope. I'm like, couldn't give a shit anymore. I'm like, this bitch couldn't even bring it upon herself to say thank you for allowing me the opportunity to get some stuff out of my system. Thank you for not judging me. Thank you for being there for me no matter what. And then she just got married. And something about that to this day still pisses me off. But that was the crux. That was the last straw for me when it came to friends and the amount of time you have known someone or loved someone, and you just have to make the adult decision that this no longer serves me. And friendship with her did not serve me anymore. She obviously did not care enough about our friendship or find us even close enough to each other to tell me what was she ashamed? She married the guy. You can't be ashamed of that. Was she embarrassed? Like, oh, I know I fucked around on him and everything, but I married him anyway. He's going to have a sweet pension one of these days. I don't give a shit. But she, in my opinion, threw away a very tight friendship. Because we were on and off, because we're girls. We were on and off love-hate for over a decade. And she was always going to be my number one, no matter what. We could pick up where we left off, go out, have fun, do whatever, and everything like that. But, she made decisions and decided that I was not important enough to be included in her life anymore. So I said, whatever. And people have looked at me like, oh, it's so sad. I'm like, is it? Is it sad? Am I supposed to be sad that this person just decided that fading away from each other was good enough for her? Because I did everything that I could to sort of cling on to that relationship. We didn't live near each other anymore. We had opposite schedules. We had different groups of friends and everything. We didn't see each other a lot. But I still made the effort to be like, hey, I love you. What are you doing with your life? How are you? I still have issues with that. If any of my friends out there are listening right now, when I text you, it's because I care and I want to know about your life.
You're a good person.
Thank you. I don't get that same in return. And I know that. And I know that this is one of those things that, I'm not necessarily going to be bothered about it for the rest of my life. It's not gonna weigh on me because I have love. And to me, that's the penultimate for me, because I have love and friendship with a small group of people, and that's enough. I don't have to worry about the friendships I was supposed to hang on to for the rest of my life. I don't talk to people I went to high school with anymore. I don't talk to people I went to college with anymore. I don't even talk to people that I went to grad school with anymore. And when I leave the job that I'm in right now, the chances of me talking to any of those people is probably slim.
Just saying.
I'm just saying. My oldest friend died. That's it. End of meeting. So it's like, I am not going to contort myself to hang on to people who couldn't give a shit about the way that I'm feeling or what's going on in my life. I just had surgery. Nobody has asked me how I am. You have. But nobody has reached out to me, save for 2 people have actually reached out to me and said, how are you doing?
How are you doing?
I'm all right.
I'll leave it with this. I thought it was going to be a lot harder than it is. I've kind of grown accustomed now to when something bothers me, it marinates for, I want to say, like 24 hours.
It rolls off more easily.
Roughly, I tend to dwell on things for like a day now. Longer than I want to, but that's where I'm at right now. Things are ruminating for 24 hours, and then that's when it starts tapering down, and I'm on to other worries. I remember leaving my old bands and thinking, like, I'm not going to see these guys all the time, and I'm going to feel lousy because I'm not seeing them every day, and I'm not playing all the time anymore. But then I grew accustomed to it, just like I grew accustomed to living alone. And, this time around when I left the Strangers, it didn't hurt as much because of all the shit I went through with Kyle.
You'd already checked out.
It's like I'm doing myself a favor for my own well-being by removing him from my life and not allowing him to aggravate me. So I'm now removing this guy from my life so he can no longer aggravate me. The blocking is not going to be enough. He is out of my life now.
Gone.
And what bothers me the most, I've shit talked him this entire episode, but this is what really drives it home. I told you we've known each other since we were 11 years old. He's been made fun of more than me. Teased for his Tourette's, teased for what he likes, teased for his social awkwardness, teased for his attitude, his behavior, his mannerisms, everything. He's been teased for it all. And despite all that, he's still achieved, got his master's, got a good job, got his house, got all the, the pinnacle of what you're supposed to do in this life, in this country, and whatever. I defended him through it all. I was there for him. I stood up for him. I told people they were wrong about him. I remained his friend. Through it all. We used to sit at Dunkin' and play cards in our downtime, and people would walk in and tease the shit out of us for being 20 years old and still playing this game. And I stuck by him. And he treats me like this.
Well, that's the sense of entitlement that having achieved all of those things will get you nowadays. Like I said, I hope his money keeps him warm at night.
You can take your money, you can take your life, you could shove it up your ass.
And that's
a wrap.
And that's a wrap, baby. Listen.
I'm not crying. I have
no, I know. The last
I would not cry over that fucking piece of shit.
The last thing I'm okay with is allowing someone, anyone, they could be the thickest blood to me. I couldn't give a shit. You don't talk shit about my man in front of me in his own house. I was like a fucking caged tiger last night. I was ready to fucking claw his face off.
You don't treat your friends like that.
No, you don't. And who taught you to do it? Like, that's just it.
I know it wasn't his mother.
Oh, God.
All right, look,
this is going to go on forever. Seriously. This is actually going to go on forever. Take care of each other.
Let the viewers decide.
Everybody out there, take care of each other. Hold your friends close. Tell them you love them so much it embarrasses them, okay? Seriously. Rule number 3, don't be a dick.
I still won the bet.
There was a bet?
Oh, yeah.
What was the bet?
Actually, there were a few bets, and I won them all because he thinks he knows everything, and he really doesn't. All right.
Well, anyway, thank you out there in podcast land for allowing this bitch sesh. We've had a very cathartic experience, I think.
He's not going to listen to this. And if he
wouldn't that be a mood?
And if he does, fuck you.
If he does, thanks for your download. We've been getting a lot of downloads, so thank you out there.
He's all of our OnlyFans downloads. Just won't admit it.
He's the 10 new subscriptions I got this afternoon.
Listen, with an attitude like the one that we described him having, he's going to be throttling his cock for a lifetime.
God bless. But yes, thank you for listening. Find us on social media, DT Andy and JJ Star with 2 R's on Instagram and YouTube. Please, we're right here. Please, I'm looking right at you.
Don't break the fourth wall.
I'm Zach Morris now.
Zach Morris is trash. You know there's a Zach Morris on my route now?
Yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah, that's creepy.
Yeah. Is he trash?
No, he's actually, he does a lot of gardening. Anyway.
Zach Morris is a gardener.
Tax Collectors and Harlots, May 31st, Main Street Tavern, Stratford, Connecticut. We are playing. I think we're on at like 9 or 10. But
and then you got...
there's a pizza place around the corner. Come eat
and then pizza place in Berlin.
Berlin, Connecticut, Pine Loft Pizza.
June
20th, yes.
June 20th. Maybe I'll be there. Who knows?
That'd be nice.
Wouldn't that be nice?
And Coat of Arms.
Coat of Arms tattoo. Love hard art. We've got the Blood and Ink tattoo and horror con in White Plains the weekend of October 4th.
You might be displaying your art in a new setting pretty soon.
I am toy. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to talk about it now. We'll see what happens. But if it does, then again, follow the socials and pass it on. Tell all your friends. Shoot us a text message if you are on Apple Podcasts, or if you go to our website, thattalkingpodcast.buzzsprout.com. You can send us a text message, and please share the links. We want to get this far and wide.
If we get some more downloads, they will help us grow our podcast.
We got Indonesia.
We did. But what I'm saying is tell your friends. Just keep clicking the links. Keep clicking the episodes.
Share
just
it
keep
all.
hitting play. Rewind.
Share it everywhere.
Do what you can. Be part of our street team.
Yes. Oh man, remember street teams?
Yeah.
Good times. Good times. So
we'll send you if you help us. If you help us get to 1,000 downloads this month, I'll send out some free shit.
Ooh.
I will send out some free shit. Help us get 1,000 downloads this month,
please.
We don't need to send money. Just to help us get 1,000 downloads.
Just keep clicking. Just on repeat. Just keep clicking them, baby. And that's it. From the 3 of us at That Talking Podcast, I'm JJ Star.
I'm Downtown Andy, and thank you for listening, and thank you, JJ, for being my ride or die.
Love you.
Love you too.
Love you out there.